Hello once again and welcome to my channel. This channel is dedicated to exposing Watchtower lies, deception and cover-ups. My name is Morphing and I was one of Jehovah's Witnesses for over 30 years. I served as a regular pioneer for 10 of those years. I was first contacted in the door-to-door ministry back in 1987 and I finally left the organisation in 2022. This video is discussing a subject that a lot of people are talking about, and that is the way the Watchtower Society is morphing into mainstream religion. So today we're going to talk about just two of the reasons why this is happening. Like many religions, the Watchtower Society owns a massive amount of real estate and financial assets. The Watchtower Society, as I've said in my previous videos, is a business. It is a corporation, and any business and corporation, they have to make money. They have to make a profit. But here's the catch with the Watchtower. The membership is declining. And the membership is their main supply of finances, because Jehovah's Witnesses are very generous in their contributions to the Watchtower Society, because they believe and have been taught that the money goes to the kingdom work of building more kingdom halls and in serving, helping people who find themselves in crisis in areas such as earthquake areas and things like that, who belong to the religion. Because Jehovah's Witnesses look after their own. They don't support charities or anything like that outside the organisation. They look after their own. And Jehovah's Witnesses are very, very generous in what they donate through the contribution boxes, through real estate, leaving their estate and things like that. They make sure that in the UK that they can tick the box for tax relief if they're paying less. If they're working, there is a facility for the society to benefit through paying less tax through their contributions. And many do this to make sure that their contributions to the society are maximised. I know that when I was a Jehovah's Witness, I contributed via a bank transfer. I had a decent job and quite a lot of money every month I paid towards the kingdom work. And I believe that was helping forward the work God wanted done. And I know that this is what most Jehovah's Witnesses are doing today. And so the fact that the membership is declining here in the UK, there has been an exodus of people leaving the organisation. Since the start of the pandemic, the number of active Jehovah's Witnesses, official stats show that between 3,000 and 5,000 publishers walked away or left the organisation via being disfellowshipped and for other reasons that the society has mentioned. But when you include those who are not included in the official stats, quiet faders and people who just show up on the Zoom. And let's face it, we don't really know whether they're watching or not, because I wasn't watching. I used to put the Zoom on, my name had appeared and the camera was off and the sound was off, and I just used to go about my business. And I know a lot of people who are like that, who don't, since the COVID-19, have stayed at home. And so they themselves, whether they still contribute or not, I know that all these others that have left have stopped contributing. Now, that's quite a lot of money that it would represent to the society, given that they are very generous. So the fact that this money is drying up means that the Watchtower is being hit where it hurts, in its financial pocket. So what I want to just discuss is how the Watchtower are trying to plug this hole, and it's by making the religion more appealing and easier for the members to remain in there, because they don't want anyone else to be leaving and taking their finances with them. Since people have discovered that there's been money paid out in lawsuits and things like that, people are on the doors as well, are reluctant to get involved. They're suspicious of any kind of cult, and anything that they want to find out about the Watchtower Society, they can just Google it and find out things and do research, and they're not actually coming in off on the doors. So much in the United Kingdom, where I live. So I just want to show that these new rules, and the video that I made about toasting, which shows, as far as I'm concerned, that major changes are in the pipeline, so that they can open up other things and make the religion much more appealing. Because, you know, when I was a Jehovah's Witness and I used to have Bible studies with people, certain people would say to me, oh, I love the message, I'd love to live in the paradise, but I couldn't live by those rules. It's too strict for me. So if they can make it a lot easier, maybe people may come in once they can show that, oh no, we don't, we let people make up their own minds whether to talk to people who are disfellowship. Oh, people can make up their own minds if they want to celebrate Christmas or want to celebrate their birthday using their Bible trained conscience. We don't any longer dictate what people can and can't do. And this is why this is changing, this shift that we're seeing with the Watchtower Society, and all these changes that are coming in. It means, so what are we seeing happening? We're seeing less doom and gloom. When I came into this society, it was all about Armageddon and the coming up of the time period from 1914, and that the people were older and there was going to be still some of those left alive to see Armageddon, and that was the main focus of the message. It was all that sort of thing. But nowadays, you don't see the hardline message has gone. There are no dates or anything being discussed, because when these fail, it puts people off. So by getting rid of it and just talking generally, they are doing damage limitation to retain the members that are there and try and attract new blood in with their finances. So the Watchtower needs to rebrand itself, like any business that is slowing down or losing profits. They need to look at why this is happening, and they need to move away from messages that you know, are associated with a cult-like behaviour. They want to appear like a harmless religion, and you know, they want to retain people from leaving, as I've said. So what does all this mean for some of us, for us that's already left the organisation? And it's good for us to be aware of these changes, because it helps us understand the bigger picture. It's not about new spiritual insights or new lights. It's about business decisions, protecting assets, and trying to stay afloat in a changing world. This doesn't erase the harm that's been done to all of us who have been caught up in all the past doctrines. People have been disfellowshipped for things that now are not, you know, not an issue, and people can remain in. And you know, I was talking to my friend who is a Jehovah's Witness, and she came to see me yesterday, and she just says, well, you know, I just do what I feel's right, you know, and I don't, certain things I don't agree with, and I just, you know, we've never had a problem with toasting, and we've always said cheers. That's what she said. You know, there is people who are like that. So when it comes to understanding these things that they are doing, and like I said in my last the video on toasting, great changes are coming. They have to make these changes in order to survive, and the sinking ship needs to be kept afloat a bit longer so they can milk it for every penny. So information is power. Understanding what is happening is power, and we can help other people understand what is happening. The more we understand how high control groups operate as well, it's easier for us to break free from any lingering guilt, fear or confusion that we may have as a result of what we went through at the hands of the Watchtower Society. So the Watchtower's changing to save its own neck. And it's not that they've had new light or they've suddenly become kinder or more loving. It's all about protecting its assets and protecting the society. And we know that that's always been what they've done. It's always been the old phrase, oh, let's not bring reproach on Jehovah's name. They've said these things, this has always been the reasoning, and it's always been about protecting the organisation. But they need to slow down the exodus, they need to stop these losses and protect their financial interests. So let's sit tight and see what's next on the agenda, what they're going to bring in next. It's the annual general meeting in October. No doubt there will be changes announced there. Maybe it's the ones that I've spoken about, birthdays and Christmas. Maybe that's just a bit too soon, but they are on the agenda. And, you know, they want to be seen as being reasonable by the governments and stop all the negative publicity that they're getting for the policies that they have in place now. So if you like this video and find it interesting, I'd like to hear your views on what you think about how it's morphing into mainstream religion. It's become using TV evangelism, which was something that it used to condemn, but now it does, with its own channel, its own stars that, you know, Stephen Lett, David Splane. You get people, oh yeah, I love David Splane, oh yeah, Mark Sanderson, and all this. They've got their own stars of the show. And so it's morphosized into something that is barely recognizable to me, who, you know, who came in the 1980s. So I'd like to hear what your views are and what changes you've seen or saw while you were in. One of the changes that I saw while I was in was the changing of the contributions, and the kingdom was being signed over to the society and taken out of the control of the local congregation. And I remember being a bit disturbed about that. But everybody said, well, you know, it makes sense for the governing body to, you know, use the assets where they feel they need to. So that was one of the changes that I saw. Another one was the abolishing of the book study group at the house. That's another one that I saw and that is gone, you know, long gone. You know, there are things that I saw. So these things took place when I was. Another change was when I first became a witness. They used to buy meal cards, and they served hot meals and everything at the conventions and assemblies. And then they did away with that and said that people had to bring their own sandwiches and things like that. You bring your own food. And the kitchens were shut down. So there's been major changes all the way through, and but these changes are changes in doctrinal teachings that are affecting people. So I'd like to know your views. What changes have you seen at your Kingdom Hall and when you were a witness, and what do you think they're going to do next? If you like this video, please give it a like and hit that subscription bell if you want to be notified of more content that I am putting out, and please subscribe to my channel. And on that note, I am going to say bye.